Hi, it's Becky here from Ginny Frog Crochet. Welcome to another frog vlog. We have lots to do today, as always, but business stuff. So first and foremost, I want to pick up from where I left off on the last vlog. You remember I was trying to finish a mesh market bag. All done. So this one was the foxglove yarn that I was having some issues with because there was so many factory knots in the Cotton Wonder Cake, the Yarn Smith's Cotton Wonder Cake, but I think it still came out beautifully, so I'm happy with that. I have 2 whips on the go on my desk, so I've started the next Cotton Wonder mesh market bag, chosen by my granddaughter. She opted for the coastal colourway. I'm pairing it with ultramarine blue, and this is what we have so far. Only a little bit. I started that last night. And yesterday I decided to start a hexicardie for the website. So it's in the Yarn Smith's Free Spirit yarn again, and this is in the colourway Morpho. So I'm getting there, my first hexie. Also in today's vlog we are going to be having a rather large, unnecessary yarn delivery. Yay. So if you've been around, you will remember that I dipped my toe into selling yarn a little while back. I decided to knock it on the head and stop doing it and kept all said yarn for myself. I did just ever so quickly, just nipped onto the wholesaler's website just to see if they had anything new in that maybe I could use for my makes, because it does make sense for me to make things using wholesale yarn, being as I have a business account with the wholesalers, and there was some stuff there, so I may have ordered a few bits. It's due to arrive today between 10 and 2, and it's 20 to 12, so very exciting. There could be a knock on the door any minute. The other thing I need to do is I need to pack up. So I've got 2 orders to fulfill on the website. One is this blanket that was bought by the beautiful Kizzy. I'm going to get it out to show you quick. So I was waving it around on my live stream last night for her to see it. So this is my own design, my own pattern, which I should be writing the pattern for, but I have not as yet. I may do it just as I may do the granny square as a tutorial and then give instructions on how to join, and then obviously it can be made in any combination of colours. I made this one using the yarn that was left over from the Apache Tears blanket that I did. Or was that the other way around? No, I think I made this one first, and then what was left from this yarn I made the rainbow Apache Tears blanket. That's right. So either way, 1 ball of each of these beautiful rainbow colours in Stylecraft DK makes 2 blankets. Good to know. That needs to be packaged up, label popped on and sent off. The other order I have to fulfill is for the beautiful Danielle, and it is a hexagon cardigan. So I've put a yarn order in. It's in the Free Spirit yarn. The colourway is Peacock, one of my absolute faves. Ooh, I'm going to put it in here first. So there may be 2 yarn deliveries in this vlog. One unnecessary and fun, one necessary for an order, but that's okay. Kizzy was very excited at the prospect of having an unnecessarily large thank you card in with her blanket. So there we go. All my deets in really big letters on the back. So Kizzy, that's for you. So I'm going to pack this up first, and then I think until we get the yarn through for Danielle's cardigan, I'm going to carry on working on the Morpho cardigan. It's too much on this desk. So I'm going to print the label off for that one. This mesh market bag is going to go in the box. Oh, and also I made a promise that Respare could be in my vlog. So everybody say hello to Respare. So this is my box I'm keeping all of my makes that are going to be dropped on the website on the 1st of September. So far I have 3 mesh market bags. So this one, this one, and now this one. So I have to make more things, more new things for the autumn winter drop, I guess. It's not going to be really a drop. It's just because I'm doing the Awesome August promotion on the website, I'm not going to be listing any new products until the 1st of September. So kind of a drop, but not really a drop. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to print the label out for this. Wait patiently for our unnecessarily large yarn delivery. I'll show you what I've got when it gets here, and then I'm going to do some work on my hexicardie. But welcome to another vlog. Lots to do, very exciting. I am prepping kind of for the event that I'm doing in September. At some point, probably in this vlog, I'm going to get down my winter stock box. I've got a lot of summer stock, which is obviously what I'm trying to maybe move some of now, just doing the Awesome August sale. The winter stock, it is still up on the website, but the winter stock, I need to go through what I've got. What do I need to make ready for a winter stall? Because, as we know, I made an awful lot for my Pride stall. It was wonderful, it was colourful, but this event that I'm doing, it's at the beginning of September, so people are going to start thinking about maybe year warmers, hats. So that's what we're going to be making over the next couple of weeks. But I'm going to label this up, ready to go for Kizzy. Thank you for your order. I'm overjoyed that this blanket is going to one of my best customers because it's one of my favourite things that I've ever made. You know how much I like a rainbow. So I'm going to do that, and I will meet back up with you in a bit when my yarn arrives, or when our yarn arrives, because I've been informed by you all that you enjoy my yarn hauls because it's like buying yarn when some of you have banned yourselves from buying yarn, so you're living through me. So we got a big one on the way. Mail arrived a while ago, but I had to wait for my washing machine to stop spinning. So I have been impatient to open this. So let's do it. I had 2 packages delivered today. One is yarn. The other one is I mean, you probably guessed, like, naturally, I'm not a fan of fast fashion, but I can't live in crochet garments every day. So I do like to buy second-hand things off eBay and Vinted, but if you've been here, you will know I'm not allowed on Vinted right now. So I bought some t-shirts from eBay. I just want to be cozy, you know? This one was the one that sort of caught my eye. I'm every woman. So I'm looking forward to wearing that. AC/DC, because 1979 is the year I was born, and I mean, I'm bisexual. I just think it's funny. You know? AC/DC. Do you get it? So that one's nice. I like that. And then it was in a pack of 3. This isn't one that I would actually naturally choose because it's got frilly stuff on it, but it looks very cozy. The material is actually very soft. So, and it looks nice and big and cozy. So it's got eyeballs on it, but they're like, it's very tactile. You know, sleepy time, wide awake. Maybe even winking. So anyway, I bought t-shirts, but you don't care about that. Hotel, motel, holiday inn. Right. I was hoping it was going to come in a box. Every other order that I've got from this wholesalers has come in a box. So I'm going to try now to open this bag carefully so that it can then all kind of stay in the bag, because I don't have room for it on my shelves, which, you know, makes it a doubly unnecessary purchase. But I don't care. Is this the end that the bag is opening at? I mean, they have to have got them in there somewhere, surely. This is fun. I get it. Okay, this is the top of the bag. Right. Right. We're getting in. Right. We're in. Down there. And I can pull them out one by one. Oh, I'm excited. Let's do the most boring one first. As I mentioned when I unboxed my Pebble Haze prints, my friend is always reminding me that because I like super bright, colourful things, a lot of people like super bright, colourful things, but because I'm a business and I sell stuff, not everybody likes super bright, in-your-face, colourful things. So everything in this bag is super bright, colourful, in your face, apart from one. These. So this is Urban Chunky by Woolcraft. I'm going to open the bag very carefully and get one out so that we can have a feel. So my thoughts with this yarn. Ooh, it's soft. So it's black, white and greys. And I'm thinking of doing chunky cat ear beanies with this. So the shade is called Magpie, unsurprisingly. So that's the first one. So some black and white chunky cat ear beanies. And because I'm me, I got these ones too. Same brand, Urban Chunky by Woolcraft. This is the colourway Flamingo. So Sam, Memphis makes one for you. I know you love your flamingos. Look at that. That is vibrant, my friends. Oh, it's really soft. Has it got a hook recommendation on yet? Got a picture of needles. And that's it. So I think I will probably try with a 6mm. Maybe a 7mm. But we'll see. When I spin the wheel and it lands on hat, we're going to try a chunky cat ear beanie. Or, prepping for this market, I might forego the wheel and just choose what I want to make. Chunky beanies. Also, chunky beanies, I think, or maybe scarves with this one. Signet Sprinkles Pop Chunky. This one looks slightly thinner. Let's get in there and get one out. So this is the shade Confetti. Very soft. Even though it's a chunky weight, I would hazard a guess that that Urban Chunky is maybe like a super chunky. This, I would say, is actually the same thickness as the Yarnsmith's Free Spirit, which is an Aran weight on the label. But I actually agree that it's more a chunky yarn. So I got that one. Confetti Sprinkles Pop. Then this one was on clearance. The bag is open, which is handy to get one out. So I've used this before. I used this Signet Baby Tickly Tots to make one of the pairs of sleeves, the pink sleeves. I loved the way the colours worked up. I would love to make a cardigan in this colourway. So it's called Head in the Clouds. So very turquoise blue. There's little bits of yellow and grey in there. So yeah, this whole pack of 10 was only £12. So I couldn't leave it there, to be frank. But the bag is busted open. What about the sellotape? Repaired. So there's that one. For cardigan. And then last but not least, more chunky beanies. Can you tell I was very much in a headspace of chunky beanies when I ordered this yarn? So this is more of the Signet Sprinkles Pop. This is the colourway Red Velvet. Some more kind of still rainbow vibes, but more pinky, reddy rainbow vibes. So there we have it. A huge yarn haul. A very satisfying yarn haul, I'm sure you will agree. I mean, look at it. I want to put it on my shelves where I can see it. Actually, if I move my scraps baskets from that one up there, I can put it on the shelves. Chunky yarn scraps. I say scraps. There's full balls of chunky yarn in here. So if the chunky beanies work out in the variegated, there will be some solid colour ones as well. Once we know how much yarn we need, etc. So let's move that. Where are we going to put it? I'm going to be able to see these guys. What do you think, Reese Bear? They're beautiful. So barring, I know I've said it, but I really mean it this time. Barring yarn for custom orders, really am done for a while with the buying yarn. That was a frivolous purchase on my part. I will freely admit I did it for the dopamine, and it makes good business sense. Although I didn't need to purchase any more yarn, anything I make with that yarn, I'll make more money on it than I would have if I was paying retail for that yarn. So I'm okay with it. I'm justifying myself. I don't need to. I've got no need to justify myself. It's my business. I can do what I like. So I'm going to carry on with my cardigan. I'm on the last row. So I'm making a size medium. Once this cardigan goes up, so there is a custom order up on the option on the website at the moment for the peacock cardigan, which Danielle has ordered. So 1st of September, this cardigan will be going up, and there'll be a custom order option for the Morpho colourway. So I'm doing a medium for now. There'll be one of those available, but then other sizes will be able to be ordered. Because for the time being, the Morpho yarn is still available. But I'm keeping my beady eye on the Free Spirit because they have been quietly discontinuing certain shades, which is a shame. Should I make a cardigan in one of the sprinkled pop? See what it's like? Anyway, I'm making a cardigan. What are you guys up to today? What is your favourite part of receiving yarn? For me, I think it's I get the excitement of the potential for yarn. I get the same happy feelings from looking at my shelves of yarn that I used to get from looking at my bookshelves. Obviously now I spend the majority of my time crocheting. I listen to audiobooks when I'm walking with the dog, but I don't read as much as I used to. I used to read a lot. And there's just something really comforting about looking at the thing, having it in your eyesight, the thing that brings you peace and joy. And I think that's one of my favourite things about a yarn haul. It's not necessarily the, ripping open the package. It's afterwards. Like, I freely admit that throughout the day now, every time I get up and go make a cup of coffee or go to the loo, I will pass those shelves and I will get like a ooh feeling looking at that yarn. And it's the potential. It's the potential of what brilliant things can I turn it into. That's the best bit for me. I'm going to crack on and I will let you know how my cardie's going. Oh my gosh, I've been filming that whole segment for 18 minutes. I'm going to need to cut some of that out. Shut up waffling back.
Like, you've escalated the situation successfully and skillfully and artfully.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But you're right. It is escalating the situation.
And I think the context that's missing here as well is like, if
business update. So I've confirmed the market that I'm doing on the 5th of September. Tables booked, confirmed. I've also, for my sins, after the stress I put myself through last year, I signed up to do a Christmas one, but it's a late one. It's on the 18th of December. So I'm thinking it might be a really good one to do because it's too late for people to do online shopping, really. And so I might get panic buyers buying last minute gifts. So that being said, I have finished one half of my hexicardie. I'm on the ribbing and I'm bored. It's been a couple of hours, to be fair. But I can't stop thinking about my new yarn. So this is going to be packed away as a whip. I haven't done that for a while. I've been kind of working on things, finishing them. Let's pack this away as a whip. I've got out some confetti, chunky not chunky. I am going to attempt to do, with a 6mm hook, a cat ear beanie. I did make some notes last year. Before we do that, let's get the box down of my winter stock. Or should I say boxes. So there's one that's just Christmas stuff. Very, very small. But there's a couple of bits in there. Can't really remember what. So let's have a look. Very cute Santa hat that was made with, I believe, a jumper. That never got listed on my website last year. I made it ready for the market and didn't list it. So that will be going up on the website this year. My first ever Granny Rocco bag that I made. A Christmas version. So yeah, there's a couple of tree decorations. Might be an option again this year. But the reason I got these boxes down. Last year I made some cat ear beanies. See, look at this. This is Free Spirit that's been discontinued. So I got a couple of beanie hats. Let's have a look how many we've got. Ooh, 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 ooh. 3 of those ones and cat ear beanies. So last year I didn't sell any of these ones that I made, but I made several of these ones, the cat ear ones. And this is the only one that's left. I did back loop only single crochet ribbing with DK weight yarn. This is, I think it's Yarnsmith's Lagoon, and a 4.5mm hook. So I would really like to make the same shape beanie, but it did take rather a long time with the DK weight. So that's where my thought process comes from. I want to try one with a chunkier yarn, a thicker hook. I actually quite like back loop only ribbing. I find it quite relaxing, luckily. So those are the hats I've got. And I do have, yeah, ear warmers, a couple of scarves. Yeah, we'll get that all out at a later date. I've even got 2 spiderweb tops in here. But for the time being, before I'm going to be babysitting for my granddaughter this evening. So before she arrives, I really want to have a bash at this hat. Yes, so what I was saying is I made some notes last year of how long inches wise, how wide inches wise. So I'm going to go by that reference and hopefully I can get like a definite stitch count for myself. How many chains and how many rows, and then it'll be easy. But I'm excited. Look, do we see this poking out the end? Do we think that this is actually a centre pull? Well, how perfect is that? For September, I already actually have a box full of stock for my stall. So that's good news to me. We are going to try this year and forever, going forward, to get out of the habit, I need to get a duster, of stressing about events and get excited about events, because events mean sales. And that's what it's all about, am I right? So I'm going to see how this goes. Wish me luck. So babysitting duties are commencing. This is how far I've gotten. So the way I do my cat ear beanies is it'll go all the way around and then join, and then I sew up the top. So I'm just over halfway. So this is how the beanie will look from the front. It's going to be gorgeous. A little review of this yarn. Never used it before. And obviously I've just bought 20 balls of it. It's a little bit splitty, but that's okay. So I went down to a 5.5 hook instead of a 6 because it was a bit... It wasn't going to give the nice tight kind of ribbing that I wanted with the 6. So I went down to a 5.5. I think I'll use the 6 with the Urban Chunky though when I try that one out. But so far, so good. So we are going to put a pizza in the oven, and I'm going to take my mesh market bag up. My choice of movies. So she's with me for 2 nights because her dad's doing a really long run. And when I say long, he does like 100-mile races and stuff. He's daft. So my choice tonight, we're going to watch, I'm going to introduce her to Sister Act because I think she'll love it. I did want to show her the Goonies, but I've got to rent it on Prime. Big's already on there, so maybe Big. I feel like I need to educate her in old films, you know? Last time she was here, I made her watch Labyrinth with me and it was amazing. She loved it. So, Sister Act, mesh market bag, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. Hey, hi, hello. I didn't end up doing any of my mesh market bag yesterday, really. We watched Sister Act and then we watched Sister Act 2. It was amazing. But this morning, I finished this. So, put a pink tag on to go with the pink yarn. I kind of love it. And it didn't take very long at all, considering, I mean, it took a while because it's single crochet back loop only, but quite nice, relaxing, easy. So I have one. Now what I would like to do is, so I used one ball, I have this much left. So I'm going to have to pop that in with my chunky scraps. And I'm going to get out one of these and I'm going to put away the 5.5. I'm going to start with the 6mm and see how I go. So I've written down my stitch counts and measurements for this. With this yarn, it does work out a bit different. So I think actually what I'd like to do is make it slightly longer so that the brim is a bit deeper. Maybe, I don't know. But it's nice, it fits. So my mannequin head is average sized head. Anything that fits on this fits on me. In fact, shall I try it on? I don't usually like to try the hats on, but the first one I make, I do actually want to make sure that it fits. Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh, I want one. I want one. I might even keep this one. Love it. Love it, love it. My hair is clean. Yeah. I have a feeling these are going to be popular this year. I'm going to be wearing one anyway. Because I like a beanie hat, but I don't like a round beanie hat. I don't know. I think it gives my head a funny shape. I don't know why. So that one's done. I'm going to start on this one and see how we go. So I obviously still have my cardigan whip. Ooh, you know, this is very chunky. I might even have to... I haven't used my 7mm hook yet because I've talked about this before, but anything bigger than a 6mm in these pony hooks, which are the only ones I like to use, is plastic and the yarn doesn't slide. But I'm going to experiment and I'll let you know. but this is going to be a wild one. I'm not sure if I might need more than one ball of this one, but obviously the stitches are going to work up quicker, and we'll try one with this one, and then we'll do one of the black and white ones, and we'll see. Ooh, nice centre pull too. Yay. But this one, lash, 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 lash. And I got another 9 that I can make. Excuse the sound of the oven. I've got lunch in. So I started one with, what's it called? Peacock? Flamingo with a 7mm hook. I don't love working with a 7mm hook. It's clunky, it's chunky, I don't like it. It's plastic, it doesn't glide in and out. The handle is different to what I'm used to. I don't like change when it comes to my crochet hooks. So I thought 6mm, 7mm is really a huge difference if I try to work my stitches loosey-goosey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause with this one as it is, and I've started this one. So I grabbed a ball of the magpie and my 6mm hook. Look at the way these colours are coming out. So I'm just going to try to just be loose with it, because I've already done much quicker with the 6mm than I did with the 7mm. So I'm going to see how it looks and how it feels. Is it going to be stretchy enough? Because obviously people have got different sized heads. That's kind of the whole point of a beanie being ribbed, is that, you know, it can fit big heads, little heads, and obviously it's going to stretch over time as well, which acrylic does. So I'm going to try one in the magpie. But also, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, because I was talking about it a while ago, I really love Kelsey's double-stranded knit beanie for the yarn usage of it all. I mean, it's a great stash buster, double-stranding yarn, but I also really like the way it looks when you double strand a solid colour yarn with a variegated yarn. I just got 2 strands of DK yarn and held it up against this, and it's actually, I think 2 strands of DK yarn is more like 1 strand of this Sprinkles Chunky. So I'm going to do this one first and then I might, because I got a lot of DK yarn, and I think that's kind of, it creates issues with the stash, because I've got a lot of, on these shelves here, I've got a lot of like browns and greens, and they don't get reached for an awful lot by me, I must admit, because they're just a bit blah, you know. So let's do this one first, and then we might try a double-stranded cat ear beanie. And depending on how this one turns out, obviously I've got 10 balls of this, 10 balls of the flamingo, but there are other colourways. So if this turns out nicely, it's a nice, quick, easy make for the markets. I don't know if the brim's going to be big enough. I think it is. But I'm not buying any more. Not buying any more yarn right now. But I do want to play with the double-stranded idea, I think. But I'm going to do this first. And also, you know, my granddaughter's here, so I'm not completely ignoring her. I'm in and out, we're chatting, she's showing me pictures, she's doing me colourings, and now we're having some lunch. So we'll see how long this takes. I don't know if there's going to be some pooling going on. My pizza. Look what I just found. So I was selling Urban Chunky. So I did have this colourway before, sold it all. There was another bright kind of colourway, sold them all. And I had these ones and didn't sell them. Peacock. I knew there was one called Peacock. So that one's Flamingo. This one's Peacock. Let's get one out and have a look. So, if this hat does turn out nice, we've got 3 colourway options. Peacock, Flamingo, and Magpie. This very autumnal, I think. I was sitting here and I thought, I'm sure I'd still had a pack of that. And I looked and looked and I couldn't see it. And it had actually been pushed back behind these ones. It was down the back. So I'm going to put it up the top with the others now. I'm going to eat my leftover pizza. Good morning, hello. It's Sunday, it's vlog day. Day when this has to be uploaded for you. So we watched Night at the Museum last night. Good addition, I think, to the old movie Education. Oldish. So I'm over halfway. He's a chunky boy. He's going to be lush, I think. I think it's going to work. I mean, it's going to be a very warm, thick hat, but I kind of like that. So I'm just over halfway. I've just tied on a second ball. There is pooling going on, but I think when it's, you know, folded up with the brim, it's going to be nice and interesting. So that's that. I did do a little bit of my mesh market bag last night while we were watching said movie. So I made a bit of progress on that. But as I said, it is vlog upload day. I do have to go out in a little bit to pick up my little chap from his dad's. I would love to get this finished so that we can see how the chunky hat saga. I finished editing a bit of this vlog's footage this morning, and it's going to be a long one, it looks like. I cut out as much as I could, but hey. So I do want to get this finished so we can see it. So we can finish the vlog with, we got yarn, we loved yarn, we talked about yarn, we discussed hats, we made hats. You know, I did one, happy with that. So I'd like to do at least this one to show you how this one works up. But yeah, need to go out in a bit. Stitch, stitch, good woman, stitch. So the closer I was getting to finishing it, the more I was thinking, is this just going to be too chunky? No, it's just chunky enough. It looks gorgeous. Way, way, way better than I was imagining. And the pooling actually doesn't look that bad once it's folded up. I need to get some grey tags for this magpie. So I used 1 and I'd say 3/4 of a ball for one. So I'm going to put this back up with the others. But yeah, 6mm hook, loosey-goosey-ish. Worked out just fine. It's so chunky. I love it. I love it a lot, a lot, a lot. So, hat number 2 finished in time for finishing the vlog. That I need to get a tag for. So, we made 2 hats in this vlog. We started cardigan but didn't finish it. We continued with the bag but didn't finish that either. I may work with the bag now because I am making beanie hats and we are in the midst of another wave of the heat. So my hands are getting a bit sticky working with the acrylic, so I might carry on with my bag. But that is where I'm going to leave this vlog. I am going to abandon this horrible plastic 7mm hook. I'm going to frog what I've done of this one. I'm going to make another one using the exact same dimension, stitch counts, hook size that I used for this one because I know it works. And these I think are going to be a great make for my September market, for my Christmas market, and generally just for the website. Like I said, I'm going to experiment a bit with, so I also want to make another one in the other colourway of the sprinkles chunky that I got. I'm going to do 2 more of these. One in this flamingo and one in the peacock, and then I am going to experiment a little bit with the double stranding with some of my long standing solid colour DK yarn and some variegated DK that has just been waiting for the perfect project. So I'm going to do that, but that is where I'm going to leave you. Did you enjoy our mahoosive yarn haul, because I don't think there's going to be another one for a while. There is going to be yarn haul. I've checked Wool Warehouse. My yarn for Danielle's cardigan has not yet been dispatched. So when that comes, we'll obviously unpack that. And because I'm me, you know I ordered some other stuff too. Just because. So thanks so much for joining me. I have got, I don't know if you can see, a massive bag in the background over there. There will be a members only video coming. That is clothes that I've made over the last, I don't know, 2-3 years that either need to be frogged or fixed because I don't wear them. Either because they don't fit properly or just because I don't like them. So I'm either going to frog or fix, but I'm going to do a members only for that because I haven't done a video just for you members for a while, and I do appreciate you immensely. If you want to become a member, you can. But thank you so much for joining me. If you've got this far, I've seen other vloggers doing this, so I'm going to try it for fun. If you've got this far, leave me a little yarn ball emoji in the comments and let me know what you think. Chunky cat ear beanie. Is it going to be a big one this year? Please God say it is. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you all loads, and I will see you again next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.